Hey guys, so we are back here with Mr. James C. Lovett. If you were paying attention on my other channel, my old channel, I talked about him almost exclusively. But here we are with him, and he's talking about the COVID vaccine and what he perceives as maybe an intolerable amount of complications due to the vaccine. So let's listen to what he has to say here. It is pretty... he says some really weird things.
On the COVID-ID-1-9.
Right, so he's spelling it because he thinks that the YouTube algorithm is going to catch him and filter out his content. But I haven't seen anything to that effect. I haven't read anything to that effect, so I have no idea if that's true or not, but he's clearly paranoid.
Follow me? Great, because now it's grind time. So, the particular video I made before, a lot of people had some ins and outs, questions on that. They wanted, I guess, kind of me to break down some more details. So, one of the viewers out there sent me the link to this particular page, which I was looking for, but being so busy, I didn't really look all that hard. Got so many videos. I mean, I've got hundreds of videos that are just waiting for me to be made between this channel and the other channel. Yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah, he puts out literally like 5 videos a day. It's amazing that he can, well, not really amazing. We look at his setup and we can see that it's not very sophisticated. Maybe he thinks that his information is more important than presenting it in a way that people can actually use. Which is his choice, of course, but he routinely presents information that we cannot verify. This web page that he has behind him, we have no idea what the web address is. He could have created this himself. We have no way to confirm. And he thinks that we should just take his word for it because he says that it's true.
Anyway, so this one, once again, is about the VAERS, okay? So, open, VAERS.com, okay? Then you go COVID-data, all right? That will bring you to this site. Now, this is an official site. This is a private site.
Which, by definition, means that it's not official. Official sites for this kind of information are .gov, for US, .ca. Actually, in Canada, it would be .gc.ca. So him presenting this web page that he just verbally tells us the address is unacceptable. I'm sorry, James. If you're going to present this information as fact, you need to do better than this.
Or privately owned. Organization that posts publicly available CDC and FDA data of injuries reported to
Post-vaccine, James. Say it. Vaccine. COVID vaccine.
reports that are not proof of causality. Okay, so let's go up here.
Right, so just by saying that the information that he's looking at is not proof of causality. So nowhere in this web page is it going to say that the COVID-19 vaccine causes death. That information, I'm sorry, I've looked, does not exist.
So now I posted some of this information on Facebook, or the Book of Face, and of course, little trolls on there and the whatever else are always like, oh no, that's not the right data.
It's not the right data, James. You cannot say that the website that you are viewing is admissible as fact in any way possible. You've admitted that it's a private organization that posts this data, which means that they can manipulate it if they want. And you haven't given us the web address. You've said it verbally, but I can't confirm that that's true. So why should I take your word on the fact that the information you're giving us is real?
It's updated every Friday, so this you can't.
Says you.
Thing is not accurate. Okay? Now if we go here, this is going to give you adverse event reports, okay, also known as health impact events, because that sounds a whole lot nicer than you died or you're crippled or, you can't, your life is no longer the way it used to be. But you're still not, we'll leave that alone, we'll just do that. Okay.
God, this guy is cringy. Like, he's got some serious paranoia issues. I don't know what's going on in his head. He really needs to talk to somebody and get this stuff worked out.
Okay, so you need to click here for all reports or just the ones in the U.S. territories. Oh no, we want all of the reports. Okay, because all lies, all people, all shades matter. Except for trolls. Alright.
Well, that's awfully rude. All lives matter except trolls? That's kind of prejudice there, James. What's with the anger?
Alright, so let's go. So, 927,738 reports. This is through November 26, 2020, right?
Okay, so this is all the data of adverse reactions to anything. You haven't said that this is specifically about COVID-19 or the vaccines. So really we have no basis to know that this data pertains to COVID-19 at all. They're just numbers that mean nothing without context.
All right. So as recording this, we're about a week almost to the next one. All right. So here we go. 19,532 deaths, period, gathered. I'm pretty sure those people wanted to prevent the, okay.
It's called a vaccine, James. Say it with me. Vaccine. COVID vaccine. Man.
Okay? So when people tell me, well, you have a problem with it, because should you have been one of those people, you probably have a problem with it. You know what I mean? Just saying. Now, this is also to keep in mind that there are tons of people who have survived and who are fine, but that does not mean everybody.
No, it doesn't mean everybody is fine. There have been adverse reactions to the vaccine. That is true. But has anybody died as a result of the vaccine? No.
Like, at least when I was growing up, I remember getting, like, measles, mumps, and rubella shots and whatever else, and there wasn't no...
You weren't old enough to remember your measles, mumps, and your MMR vaccine. You weren't old enough, sorry.
Oh, this like this, guys. You know what I'm saying? Okay? And if there was, it was small. Okay? Rare. Okay, hospitalizations.
Yes, complications due to vaccine is rare. Any vaccine, it is rare. Especially your MMR vaccine is given to children. So saying that it's safe is a pretty... you can say that the MMR vaccine is safe with a certain amount of confidence because it does more good than harm. That's the whole point.
I'm just going to say 100,000. They're only like 60 from there. People went into urgent care for whatever reasons. 102,000. Doesn't break it. No, maybe it does break it down. Let's click. Let's click, shall we? Alright, so looks like females went in there more than males. And then over here, it's going to tell you the manufacturers which ones had the most reactions. Now, from this, the capital P, 61,000 was the highest total out of all of them. So if I had a choice, I'm going to take my chance on the Janssen. That would be just me. Alright? So this is all I'm saying, people, is it affected most. And this is where the numbers also come in. So, talking about kids, only 147 kids. Okay? But then people from 25 to 50, it was 40,000.
Yes, because we haven't started vaccinating children until recently. So that data is still coming in. And yes, 25 to 60, 25,000 or 40,000 people have had adverse reactions between 25 and 60. But he's looking at data for the entire planet, okay, of 7.5 billion people, of which I think it's about 2 billion people have been vaccinated now. 2 billion people have been fully vaccinated. So having a worldwide count of 25 to 60-year-olds having adverse reaction of only 40,000 people seems like a drop in the bucket, James. You seem to be making a mountain out of a molehill.
So this mostly affects the mid-range people and older. Okay? So it's back up.
The numbers are so high simply because of the sheer number of people we're vaccinating all at once. That's why the numbers are skewed. They're not true evaluations of what is happening, because we're vaccinating so many people at once. We're going to get a lot of adverse reactions, simply because of the numbers we're immunizing. But compare the number of adverse reactions to the total number of people being immunized, and it's like literally 1%. Like, I haven't done the math, but go ahead and do it. 40,000 adverse reactions worldwide on 2 billion people fully vaccinated. So really, what's the percentage on that? I'll put it up here, but it's very small.
People went to the doctor, those visits, 145,000. Anaphylaxis, okay, so basically you're choking, 8,300. I mean, I guess you still live, but Bell's palsy, so people who didn't have any palsy or they might have had in their genes, this apparently activated it or gave it to them, one or the other, okay, or probably both. 11,000, okay? So now, permanently disabled in whatever fashion, whether they can't see, walk, talk, move from their neck down, or at all, 31,000 people.
That's misleading, James. You're saying that 31,000 people are permanently disabled? That can mean anything. As somebody who is disabled, I have multiple sclerosis, and it does affect the way that I walk sometimes. That's really, I mean, have you compared that number to the numbers of the incidence of it occurring naturally in people? See, you're missing data, James. You're not looking at the whole picture. There's more there's more to look at here.
All right. 10,000 people got shingles. Severe allergic reactions, 34,000. 21,000
Allergic reaction is not death.
life-threatening, like meaning their life was on the line, okay?
But did they die? No. Yes, they had a severe reaction, and that's unfortunate. But they did not die.
3,200 miscarriages.
And how does that compare to the incidence of miscarriage in the general population of the world?
Low platelet, 46, it's not the end of the world, but 9,700 people had heart attacks. Now, it doesn't say whether they died or not, but still, yeah, I would prefer not that one. All right, myocarditis and pericarditis.
It's pronounced myocarditis and pericarditis. Yeah, I mean, dude, learn how to speak English.
15,000. So, if you guys want additional information, you can contact them at info@openvaers.com, or you can go right to the website yourself, pull this information, and literally click. That's it. The information's all right there, guys. So,
Okay, so he finishes off his video going on about the complications and things like that. So I'm going to research exactly what he's talking about here. I'm doing this live, so I have no idea what I'm going to find. Let's see here. What do we got? Okay. Okay, this is, I just simply typed in U.S. COVID-19 deaths. Okay. In the United States alone, there have been almost 800,000 deaths in the U.S. alone. I'm not talking about the rest of the world. I'm just talking about the United States. Almost 800,000 people have died because of this disease. Okay? Over 50 million people have contracted COVID-19. So having, maybe 100,000 people who are reporting adverse reactions to the vaccine is literally a drop in the bucket. Okay? You have to look at the whole picture. You can't just look at one particular thing. You can't look at just complications due to COVID-19. How do those numbers compare to the rest of the population? How do those numbers compare to the incidence of adverse reactions due to vaccine for all vaccines? You can't just say that the COVID-19 is causing death and, number one, not proving it, and then saying that COVID-19 is causing or is resulting in adverse reactions and these numbers are concerning. Yes, they're unfortunate, but when you look at almost 800,000 people have died from COVID-19. So having maybe 100,000 people reporting adverse reactions is not that big of a deal. Nobody has died as a result of the vaccine. Yes, people have died who have been vaccinated, but it wasn't the vaccine that caused their death. And in the United States alone, there have been over 50 million cases of COVID-19. That's just the United States. So you really need to take a look at those numbers. They may be shocking when taken out of context, but you can't compare them to nothing. You have to compare them to the actual real-world numbers of incidence of vaccine adverse reaction of the entire population of the planet, who, by the way, are getting COVID-19 vaccines faster than any other vaccine that is available right now because this disease needs to be beaten. So you really need to take a look at what he's saying with a grain of salt, because the information that he's giving you is just, it's not accurate. Okay? So just keep that in mind.